Now, if you just watched the last main stage session, you're going to be familiar with my next guest here. But if you missed it, let me introduce you to the fantastic AbiCannons. Abby, hello, a very warm welcome. How are you?
Hello. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Good.
I'm very much enjoying the show. Just in case anybody did actually miss the last session, that will be available on Catch Up, though, on demand a little bit later. So if you did miss it, you can catch up. But just let the audience know who you are and who you are representing today.
So my name's AbiCannons, as you said, and I currently work for RX Global, which is a big exhibition organiser where I do innovation success management, which means finding new tech, piloting new tech, testing it out and rolling it out if it's any good. But I'm about to change jobs, so I'm going back to vendor side in a week and a half to work for Grip, which is the meetings platform that we're using for this event.
Wow, there we go. There's a lot of change going on in your life.
That's the big announcement.
That's it, man. You know, that is one of my questions. What announcement you got? Dropped a bomb already, ladies and gents. There, an exclusive if you didn't know that already. But yeah, fantastic to get your experience. I know, as I say, you've just been live on the main stage. How was it actually being back in person, you know, in front of people, surrounded by our peers in such an amazing environment? It's
so nice, it really is. Just the industry being back together is just so fab. Seeing people, as I said to you when I turned up, it's like, oh, you're in 3D. It's so nice, it really is. You know, it feels very safe. Everyone is being very respectful, wearing their masks, loads of hand sanitizer everywhere, sort of. You know, I understand that people can feel a bit nervous when they're coming back to events, but I haven't felt that at all. It's been really fab.
Wow, and I think from an organisational point of view, I think the organiser really appreciates here that you do feel safe. You know, you can come here, you can mix with people, you can integrate, and it is, you know, you're not stressed. And I think a lot of people have got into that sort of mindset of, I've been at home for so long, I don't want to get out. But, you know, you can, like you say, relax, come here, enjoy the show and reconnect with people in a safe environment. So that is fantastic to hear. Now, I know you have been online this week. You have been watching the earlier days this week, all the virtual sessions. How did you find those from a delegate perspective, first of all?
Yeah, really good. I was chatting away in the little chat box. It's really nice. One of my lovely friends, James Morgan, who unfortunately isn't here, he's based in Saudi. It was fab to have him beamed in from Saudi and watching him do his session live, and you know, watching the chats and being able to interact with everybody online was really good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Well, you saw, I was typing in quite a lot.
And I very much appreciate it. That is what, ladies and gents, we want that participation. We want you at home. You know, if you can't get here, that is absolutely fine, but we still want you to be part of the show. So if you have got any questions for any of our presenters during the sessions, either in person this week, get them in the chat box. And of course, we'll be going back to virtual on Friday. Take advantage, like Abby says, you know, you are part of the show. You know, our virtual audience is just as much and just as important to the people here in person. So take Abby's lead, get involved, ask the questions you want to ask, and actually be participating in the show. Now, I know, as I say, you've done a presentation online and a presentation in person.
Yeah.
From a personal perspective, how does it differ for you, you know, with the audience engagement, or just how much you enjoy it in the different platforms?
I get nervous. I mean, not that I'm hoping that no one can tell. But yeah, I get nervous in real life. I find it much easier to present online, actually. Sort of, you haven't got the eyes staring back at you when you're presenting. But it was really seamless. The AV team did a really good job. You sort of go into this. I don't know whether you want me to go into what happens. Does anyone care?
You can give them a little bit of behind the scenes. You can let a little bit of the guys know what goes on.
You know, you see everybody before you go live and whatever. It's really, you know, it's really seamless. It wasn't hard at all. I'd gone to a rehearsal beforehand. Yeah, really, really nice. Here, you've obviously got the nerves of going up and seeing people and, you know, seeing their expressions. So
absolutely.
You know, but it's just as enjoyable. You know, actually seeing the people sat in the audience is amazing. Of course, that's what we do events for, right?
Exactly. Like you say, the reactions are priceless, aren't they? You know, that's what. As long as they're positive, hopefully. You know, that's what we want. That's what we want from these scenarios. Just in terms of the show, as I say, I know you've been busy. You've done live presentations and virtual. Have you had chance much to actually look around the show here today, look at the other stands and meet a lot of people, or have you just been tied up with your hectic schedule?
I think I probably would have liked to have spent a bit more. I'd earmarked lots more sessions than I've actually attended because I've been out on the show floor and talking to people and so on. I don't know whether anyone's spoken about the tech therapy pavilion. Have
Yes,
you been down there?
we had Dahlia in there before. I might have seen a couple of videos on a phone of that. It's tell us about your experience, because I believe you've been in it. Tell us, don't tell us what you said in there, because some people do get a little bit carried away.
There wasn't a couch. We're screamed into a paper bag. So, and actually, all three of us did it at once, and it silenced the entire cafe. But no, getting out our frustrations of the last 18 months into a paper bag in a massive screen. It was well worth it. But there's lots of, I mean, aside from that, which is obviously fun, but there's lots of little tech providers there as well. Yeah. It's the really cool new stuff that's coming up. That's what I love. I mean, I love, of course, seeing all of my sort of learned and trusted, vendors and suppliers and so on. But it's the new stuff that I find most exciting. The people who are just emerging, and they've got some great tech as well.
Absolutely. And do you feel you've got a lot more out the experience actually coming joining us here in London as opposed to just being a virtual delegate?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I enjoyed, I was attending ETL US when it was happening. When was it? June or whatever. Yeah. That was obviously all online. Yeah. And you still got to see all of the providers and so on. But it's different when you can be face to face and touching and seeing it in person. I think it's also easier to scan and browse when you're on the show floor. Of course, a list of suppliers is not that easy to navigate, but yes. If but as you go around, you're sort of greeted with what that tech company does right in front of your face without having to look for it. So, I'd say that face-to-face is always going to be my favourite. Yeah. But I've really enjoyed the virtual stuff as well.
Oh, brilliant, and that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve that there's something for everybody there. Whether or not we can attend or whether we can't attend. We try to provide you guys at home, potentially across the pond, wherever you're joining us from around the world, with the best experience we can. Like Abby said, if you want to get up close and personal, really make those connections, come join us in London tomorrow if you can. Now, just moving into the future, you got a new job, you're changing into a different environment. Tell us a little bit more about that. Yeah. What are you excited about for the future?
I've watched Grip grow. I've known them as a company for a really long time, and they've done amazing things during the pandemic, and the team's grown. They've got a great new team, and that happens to include me. By the way, I'm not bigging myself up that I'm the amazing person here.
So go for it, why not? Why not?
But yeah, no, it's really exciting. So I used to be on the vendor side when I worked with Slido. Went to work for Reed for the second time. I've had an amazing time. I'm not leaving on under a cloud or anything like that. It's been amazing, and I'm really thankful for the time that I've had there. But it was time for me to sort of have another new challenge and to be with the suppliers, working with clients again. I think that's going to be really nice. And the tech's great. By Grip.
Solid plug there. Well played.
But yeah, and I'm going to be doing product marketing. So that's really taking the amazing things that they're doing as a product team and translating that into what the organisers value. So that's my job. Hopefully, I can do it.
I'm sure you'll be very successful at it, and I wish you well in the new job and the new changes. Just finally, just Event Tech Live as a whole, as an event. As I say, if we have got people who have never been before, potentially maybe this is the first time they have joined us virtually at all, the first time they heard about Event Tech Live. How do you rate it as an event, and would you recommend people would come in the future?
I think anyone who's sort of seen me on various socials and things doing this kind of thing before, this is, and I do not joke, this is my favourite event. It's my favourite event of the year, like 100%. I'm not saying it because I'm here, really, truly. It's just where, if you want event technology, you come here. I mean, there are amazing other events that happen with the events industry, but this is just a single focus of digital and technology, AV, all the stuff that I'm into. Plus the community is just amazing. It's just great to be a part of it.
I'm glad you mentioned the community, because we spoke to some presenters earlier and we were sort of discussing that the future is collaboration. Like you said, it's a bit of a one-stop shop now, the whole event. If you're looking for AV solutions, hybrid integration, this is the place to come. And I say, build that community. Everybody is working together to get the events industry back on their feet.
I'm not on commission, I just want to say.
She's not on commission, but I do owe her a tenner for all the lovely things she said. So thank you very much for that. So, Abby, what is the one thing you're looking forward to most in the events world about the future? What is the one thing on your list?
I'm looking forward to seeing how the virtual / hybrid plays out, because as face-to-face comes back to life,
Yeah.
I think the sort of virtual stuff will, it will ebb a little bit. But I'm looking forward to seeing how event organisers adapt to that. Are we going to see more, virtual events throughout the year and then a big event, in person at the end?
Yeah.
How does that actually look? I think there's still a lot of space for virtual events to improve. The tech can definitely still improve.
Yeah.
I think it's so new to everybody still. The sort of the virtual, the hybrid, it's still so new, even though we've been talking about it since 2012. But for most people, it wasn't on their radar, and so that kind of year-round engagement with communities, the sort of 365 offerings, the virtual, the intervals, what does that really look like? And I'm really interested to see how it works.
I very much agree that we all are. It's interesting you say, these things have been discussed since 2012, but I have to say the majority of people, it was probably 2020 when, most people, watching potentially got introduced to the virtual, the hybrid side of things. And it's really exciting, the future, but also we got to remember that it's been 18 months for most people, that, it feels normal to a lot of people like yourself.
Yeah.
We're used to presenting virtually, we're used to connecting with people virtually, but actually it's not been that long at all, in the grand scheme of events. Abby, thank you very much for coming to join us at Event Tech Live.
It's been an
absolute pleasure. I say thank you very much for Energy Online. Really enjoyed your sessions as well. And we hope you enjoy the rest of the Event Tech Live show.
Thank you very much.